Hi, this is Bill, and you are on Finest Travel Beat with Angela and Bill. Today we continue our British Isles cruise series with our port call in Invergordon, Scotland. We did a excursion today. We visited Loch Ness, the Culloden Battlefield, and spent some time wandering around the quaint little city of Inverness, Scotland. We'll take you around with us, show you some of the sites we did, tell you how we did it, and give you the information that you'll need to hopefully make your stop in Invergordon the best one possible. Thanks again for everybody for watching this series. We hope you're enjoying it so far. This was a whirlwind and somewhat exhausting 12 days at sea. Today we bring you to the port of Invergordon. Invergordon is located on Scotland's northeast coastline and is about 40 minutes from the city of Inverness. From Invergordon there are many tours you can take, and as you can see there was actually availability for taxis and private tours right from the pier. There's also a bus that goes to Inverness. My understanding it takes about 40 minutes to get there, and it's about a half hour between buses. Now, we booked an independent excursion through Venture Ashore. We used Venture Ashore in our Guernsey port call. There's a video up on that. We weren't thrilled with Venture Ashore on that one, and quite honestly, it was a little bit confusing finding where they were across from the pier. Our first stop of the day was going to be the Culloden Battlefield. A beautiful drive through the Scottish Highlands, looking at Loch Ness and the River Ness. Beautiful scenery. It was a very nice day. A little overcast at first, but just beautiful, nice fall temperatures, and the rides throughout Scotland were just breathtaking. As we drive along, just a couple of things I don't think I touched on this video series is that in Scotland they do use the Great British Pound. The notes may have looked different than the ones issued by the Bank of England. They're issued by the Bank of Scotland, but they are able to be used interchangeably throughout Great Britain. Northern Ireland is also on the Great British Pound. However, the Republic of Ireland is on the euro. So you may want to take note of that if you are doing a British Isles cruise. Now, our first stop of the day was the Culloden Battlefield. For fans of Outlander, you'll know what the Culloden Battlefield was. For those that are not fans of Outlander, the Battle of Culloden was the end of the Jacobite rebellion. It happened in 1746, basically ending a lot of the clan life in Scotland. I'll again allow you to kind of research all that on your own. We're not here to give a major history lesson, but it is a very, very famous battlefield. I would put it akin to Gettysburg in the United States. The Battle of Culloden was fought between Great Britain and Jacobite forces. During that, there were about 50 soldiers from Great Britain or England that were killed. There were between 1,500 and 2,000 Jacobite rebels that were killed on these grounds. The flag lines that you see are the lines where the Jacobite forces were and where the English or Great British forces were. Just looking at it, having read a little bit about the Battle of Culloden, and seeing what the Jacobite rebels faced during this battle was just, again, kind of amazing to realize that so many people lost their lives here. Also, it was definitely very, very reminiscent of our visit to Gettysburg years ago. As you can see there's a lot of signage around here that explains exactly what happened during the battle, which, to my understanding, only lasted a few minutes. The tour guide we had was excellent. I believe he was also a history teacher, so we walked with him and he gave us a lot of information on the battle itself. We were probably at this location about an hour, which was definitely not enough time. We spent a little bit of time walking the battlefield. We couldn't walk all that far, and there's also a visitor center. Now, there were many buses in with us, and we got into the visitor center for a little bit. As you can see, there's some of the stones that are erected all around the grounds to commemorate the various clans that fought. There are people buried here, but those are not necessarily gravestones. Again, the visitor center was jam-packed. The line for the bathroom was 20 minutes. We couldn't even get into the gift shop. So that was a little bit of an issue at how crowded it was and the amount of time that we had. One other quick tip we have if you're taking one of these bus tours is make sure you take a picture of the bus number and license plate. In parking lots, they all look alike, and you don't want to be getting on the wrong bus or unable to find your bus. The next stop on our tour was Loch Ness to see the famous Nessie and Urquhart Castle. Now, I'll spare you the details because if you haven't heard of Nessie, I'll ask you to please unsubscribe to our channel. Again, just an absolute beautiful ride through the Scottish Highlands. As you can see, as we get closer to Urquhart Castle on Loch Ness, there are many bed and breakfasts and little hotels, gift shops, restaurants, things like that. So if you're traveling independently, these would be really great spots to stop in. The gift shop that was located at Urquhart Castle, which is kind of the main castle right by Loch Ness, they really didn't have a whole lot of things in their gift shop. In fact, they had almost nothing that was in any way related to the Loch Ness monster. At Urquhart Castle, and I think that's the proper way to pronounce it. If I'm butchering it, my apologies. There are quite a few steps down. It is accessible. There are ramps that go, there's a bus parking lot, and then it drops down to a regular parking lot. Then you have to go down several levels to get your tickets for the grounds, and then even more down to get to the castle itself. So just bear that in mind. There is quite a bit of walking, as is in most of Europe. Things aren't built on flatlands. There's a lot of mountains, there's a lot of steps, there's a lot of ramps. It was very easy to walk and definitely wheelchair accessible. But if you're pushing a wheelchair up the hill from the castle itself all the way up, you're going to be tired by the end of the day. Now, real briefly, the castle was built somewhere in the 1200s. What you see actually are ruins. The castle itself was blown up in 1692 to prevent it from falling into Jacobite hands. It's and again, we'll have you can look up the Jacobite rebellion if you like. It's very interesting, or the Jacobite rebellions. The grounds are huge. There are many parts of the castle that are still standing. You can go up into a couple of the towers. Beautiful scenery, beautiful views over Loch Ness. We really wish we probably would have done a smaller tour for this. Again, we were in a larger tour bus. There was about 45 people on it. So that kind of limits your time any place. So if we had done a smaller tour, it would have been really nice to spend a little bit more time here and just kind of walk the grounds and enjoy the absolutely breathtaking, amazing scenery. And also maybe catch a glimpse of Nessie if she or he decided to show his head or humps. As we show you around the grounds a little bit more, if you're enjoying these videos and you're getting value out of this content, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to our channel. Also, if you have been to Invergordon or Inverness, let us know in the comments what you've done so that we have ideas that we can share with others. Also, let us know if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. They're somewhat time consuming to do, but if there is enough interest and people are getting value out of it, we'll take the time to put them together. After leaving and climbing way up the steps, it was about a 40-minute drive to get to Inverness. Inverness is a city in Scotland of about 50,000 people. For my Outlander fans out there, Inverness was not filmed in Inverness. Inverness was filmed in Falkland, which is on one of our other videos. But this is the actual Inverness. And as you can see, very interesting traditional architecture. It was very much a city, lots of stores, lots of shopping. There was some tourist areas, some areas that were, as you can see, pedestrian only. Very quaint little city. We did some shopping. We stopped off. I got a pint, of course. Did a little shopping. You can see lots of stores that sell tartans. For those that don't know, tartans are actually clan or family specific. Each clan in Scotland has a traditional tartan that they wear. I think sometimes there's multiple ones. There's actually registries of them and everything, which is very interesting. Here's a river that they dropped us right on the other side of this bridge. We had to walk about a 10-minute, really nice 10-minute walk into the downtown area. And there's Angela. It was a little chilly, not as chilly as we expected. The Scottish Highlands, especially North Scotland, is generally very, very cold in the fall, and it wasn't at all. We really lucked out with the weather. We absolutely loved and enjoyed the Scottish architecture here. And here is the Inverness Cathedral, which was right near where the bus dropped us off. We had about an hour or so free time in Inverness, which was, quite frankly enough, it was a nice city. Did not compare to Edinburgh, in our opinion. Just kind of wasn't our cup of tea, but we did enjoy the architecture and walking around and shopping. We headed back to the ship afterwards. Again, about a 40-minute drive to get back. Plenty of time. Using independent excursions or tour operators, you really don't want to do your due diligence and make sure that they have a return to the ship guarantee, which means that if for some reason they can't get you back to the ship, they will pay to get you to the next port. That's very, very important that they have that. And also you want to check their cancellation or change policies in case ships are delayed getting to port or have to skip a port. Again, we're trying to keep these videos short. We understand time is valuable, and we just kind of want to give you a little taste of what we did, not in depth, and also give you some information. So again, we hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, like, subscribe, share with your friends as well, share in groups that you're in, to get this information out there so that people have some choices. Again, on behalf of Angela, thank you so much for watching this video. We really appreciate all the support, and we will see you on our next adventure. Bye-bye, everybody.